Okay. So children, in bubble sorting, the adjacent elements are compared and swapped if they are not in order. So first of all, let us see that what is a bubble sort. Okay, so before that, I would like to start this so that I can use annotators. Okay, so let us see few elements like suppose there are 5 elements. One is 15, another is 7, 2, 13, and 6. These are the elements. There are 5 elements. So when there are 5 elements, there are 5 phases. In fact, these are the index numbers. Now, what will happen in the very first phase? By definition, it is the sorting in which the adjacent elements are compared and swapped. So these two will be compared and swapped. So what will happen? These two, 15 and 17, will get swapped. So what will happen? 17 will come in front and 15 will go beyond 7, after 7. Now after that, these two elements will be compared. And again, you can see that these are not in order. So 15 will get shifted towards right and 2 will come forward like this. Now what will happen? 13 will also come ahead. So 13 will come here. And here 15 came. And further 15 and 6 also will get compared. So 15 will go at the end. This is 6 and this is 15. Children, this is the end of phase 1. And after phase 1, you have discovered that the largest element has come at the last index. Now, in the beginning, I told you that there will be 5 phases. So first phase is over. And now second phase will start. So in the second phase, what we will do, we will be considering only these many elements because the last element is already largest one. So no need to include that element within this phase. So what will happen? Again, the same process will be repeated. 7 and 2 will get compared. 2 will come here, 7 will come here, 13 and 6, 5. This is the second phase which is going on. And after that, these two elements will get compared. Because there will be no change. If I compare these two, there will be no change because they are already in order. So if you compare these two, there will be a change. So what will happen? It is 2, 7, 6, 13 and 15. Second phase is over, and after the second phase, the second largest element is at the second last index. And now in the third phase, we will be considering only these many elements. Now you can see that array is after the second phase only this array is sorted. But still the process will continue, and after all phases, the bubble sorting is over and you will get the elements in sorted order. So any doubt children within this logic? I hope you all have understood the logic of this. Please respond.
Yes, sir.
सर इसके बाद एक और फेज होगी ना?
Wait, no, phase that is already sorted. That's why I'm not explaining because it is
सर
okay.
7 और
Yes,
6.
yes, there is one more phase left. So in the next phase, 6 and 7 will be replaced. So finally the array will become sorted. I hope it's clear. Any problem? So in bubble sorting children, after first phase, the largest element is at the last index. In the second phase, the second largest element is at the second last index. In third phase, after third phase, the third largest element is at the third last index. So this process will be repeated. And now what to do is, I'm just going to implement the code. See, so first of all here, what to do is declare a few elements. Here the main method, and this is the array. This is the size we have taken, and take scanner class. And now after this, enter size. Size is ss.nextInt and a will be new int, and here fill the array. Fill array that will go like 0 to less than size. And that is this one. So array is filled, and now here I would like to print the array. So I'm not using the loop method of printing the array rather than this arrays dot to string, but I think few must have problem in this. So better to write that one. So the original array is this. Children, this is how we have printed the original array. And now I'm going to define a function that will actually sort. And here it is going to implement the bubble sorting. So children, as I told you just now that there will be n number of phases if the size of the array is n. So there will be a loop for number of phases. So here what to do is, I will be 0 till it is less than a dot length, I plus plus. And this is this loop is for number of phases, and this loop is for actually comparison of the elements. Minus I minus 1 and j plus plus. Now if a of j is more than a of j plus 1, if this is the case, we need to swap. One thing, children, you have to remember that I am comparing aj with aj plus 1. That this is how we are comparing the adjacent elements. Suppose the value of j at any moment of time is 2, then aj plus 1 will be 3. So it means that we are comparing the element at index number 3, 2 and 3. And if j becomes 3, then we are comparing 3 and 4. If j becomes 5, then we are comparing 5 and 6. This is how we are comparing.
5 and 6.
Yes. Yes, what happened? Any query? Beta, who has asked? Okay. Now, after this, I need to call the function, and for that, I need to create the object of the class. Bubble sorting, obj, new, bubble sorting, and then I'm just going to call obj.sort, passing the array itself. And here after that, the sorted array is this. Okay, so sorting we have done. Now let us see how it works. Suppose, children, the size of the array is 5, and there are 5 elements, 12 to 1, 34 and 30. These are the elements. And now you can see that the sorting is done. The sorted array is this one. It is showing that array has been sorted. Okay, but I need to explain few things. And children, here I don't think that you have problem in the main method. In the main method, the size of the array is entered. We have initialized the array. Now here we are filling the array. This is how we have printed the original array. And then bubble sorting. This is the object, how we have created the object. And I'm just calling this function obj.sort within bracket A. So children, one more thing, the return type of this function is void, and I am passing A, and within the method, after when the calling of this function is over, I am printing the resultant array. So how the sorting of the elements has been reflected here? Just because the array is a reference data type. So what is the benefit with reference data type? The benefit with reference data type is that any change within the function body will get reflected at the function call statement also. So any change, if we are swapping or whatever we are doing, will get reflected here also. So this is how we are just able to see the result. Children, suppose if I am removing this part, and here suppose I'm just writing a of I is equals to a of I plus 10. So what I'm doing, actually I'm just incrementing the each and every element of this array by 10. So see what happens after this function call. Here you see that the size is 5 and the elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you see that initially the original array was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now the resultant array is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It means every time we have done the incrementation of 10 within each and every element of the array. And how it is reflecting, just because array is a reference data type. I am passing the address of this array, and here this A is receiving the address of this array, and here whatever changes we are making within the array will get reflected within the main method. So it simply means that the functionality of call by reference we will be using within the sorting process also. If any problem, what is the purpose of reference data type? If you don't know what is a reference data type and how it works, then please ask. And after that, I will be explaining the code of sorting. Please ask, children. Roshan Gupta, any query? How these changes has been reflected? Roshan, speak.
Yes, sir.
You don't have any doubt?
No, sir.
Riddhi Jan, Achintya Singh, Samiksha.
No, sir.
But are you have understood now what is a reference type? Okay. Snehal,
Yes, sir.
beta समझ आ गया reference type?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, children, I am just going to explain you how it works. So here, what to do is, this is the code of sorting. Okay. See, I'm just going to explain it with one example. Suppose it is 15, 7, 2, 19, and 6. And these are the elements. Okay. Children, here the size of the array is 5, so A dot length will return 5. And the loop will go from 0 to less than 5, means it will go 0 to 4. And now this will go from 0 to less than A dot length minus I minus 1. 5 minus I minus 1. 5 minus I minus 1 means what? Initially the value of I is 0. So 5 in first phase I am talking about. 5 minus 0 minus 1 means 4. And in the first phase, if this part is 4, the loop will go up to 3 because it is less than. So loop in the first phase will go maximum up to 3. So it simply means maximum it will cover 19. It will not cover 6. But since within this block I am just writing aj plus 1, it means if the maximum value of j is 3, then aj plus 1 will be 4. It means in the first phase we are covering all the elements. Is that clear? Is that clear or not?
Yes, sir.
If it is 5 minus 0 minus 1, which is 4, and the loop is going from 0 to 3, so maximum 3. If it is 3, then it is 3 plus 1, which is 4. So in the first phase, we are covering all the elements. Now see the phase number 2 when the value of I is 1. What happens? In the phase number 2, what happens? It is 5 and 5 minus 1 minus 1, it is 3. Loop will go up to 2 because it is less than 3. So loop will go up to here. And so j plus 1 will reach up to this one. This is j plus 1. In the second phase I am talking about. So these two will get compared. Maximum up to the last index. Up to the last value of j in this second phase. Now what happens? We are ignoring this. Why? Because it is already largest after first phase. Because after first phase, ये element आपका जहां पे 6 है वहां largest आ चुका होगा after first phase. So we need not to include that. That is why I am going to explain the phase result also. So please see. In first phase, these two will be compared. So 3 and 14. The first phase is 19 and it is 3. Now what happens? In the same phase, these two will be compared. 2 and 14. 19 and 3. Then these two will be compared, but there is no change. These two will be compared at end. So 3, 2, 14, 3 and 19. The first phase is over and the largest element has come at the end. So when I becomes 1, I am just going to exclude this. So in case any doubt, children, please tell. Children, please tell if you have any problem. Please tell. But any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Narhari, Aditya,
Sir, no doubt.
Narhari Sharma, Achint Singh, Anusha.
No, sir.
Tanisha Kaushal. Tanisha Kaushal. Tanisha, are you there? Okay, Kavya Chaudhary, beta, any doubt? Vanshika Agrawal, any doubt?
No, sir. No, sir.
Oh, okay, now one more thing I would like to demonstrate here. And that thing is how the phases are working. So here after this, I would like to display this message. Phase 1 completed. No, sorry, here I need to write phase I plus 1. Completed. Okay. Now you see that if we have 5 elements, the elements are suppose these. You see that Phase 1 completed, phase 2 completed, phase 3 completed, phase 4 completed, phase 5 completed, and after that the sorted array is this. So this is how we can display the phase. And after every phase, if we want to see the current status of the array, then also we can use this statement. Now see, here one more thing I have to see, that it is arrays. Okay, now see, the size is 5, the elements are 12, 2, 13, 3, and 9. Suppose these are. See that, children? Here after first phase, when first phase completed, we got the largest element at the end. And now in the remaining elements, the largest is 13. So in the second phase, 13 has come at the second last index. And in the remaining 9 is largest. So in the next phase, 9 is here. In the next phase, 3 is here. In the next phase, 2 is here. Finally, array is sorted. This is the sorted array, which is this one. If still you children have any doubt, then please tell.
No, sir, no doubts.
Okay, now one more thing. One more thing, and this is the problem with bubble sorting. Children, the size is 5 and the elements are these. The elements are already sorted. I have entered sorted elements. Then also it is going up to all the phases. So children, one question from you is, if the elements are already sorted, do we need to complete all the phases? Riddhi Jan? Riddhi Jan?
Yes, sir.
If elements are already sorted, do we need to complete all the phases? Beta, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you have chaliye, okay. Now Aditya Srivastav, the same question is from you.
No, sir.
No, sir. We don't need to complete the phases. Beta, jab elements already sorted hai, why you will complete all the phases? And suppose the size of the element, size of the array is 100, and in case you have entered the elements in ascending order, then you need to complete all the phases, 100 phases, and 100 phases like that you need to check. It is a
No, sir, it will take a lot of time.
it is just a wastage of time. So this is how now you can see that this bubble sorting method is inefficient. But in the board exam, you have to write this only. In the board exam, you have to write this only. So a small change will make this algorithm much more efficient. I am going to do that. Please see. Children, here what I have done. Here I have made this variable f0. There is a variable, status variable, and this loop will go till this f is 0. Means that in case if array is sorted, what I have considered, if array is sorted, then this f will not remain 0. It will change if array is sorted. But if array is already sorted, then it will change. And if it is not sorted, if we need to sort, then definitely f will remain 0. So at present f is 0. And as soon as we enter within this loop body, we will make f1. But if we discover that any pair is not in order, then we will make f0 again. So just including these 3 steps, the bubble sorting will become efficient. See how. Children, this time I am just giving you the sorted elements like this. And you can see that only phase 1 got completed. And after phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4 and phase 5 were excluded. They were not completed. Only after first phase the loop terminated and the sorted array is on the screen. So this is how we have saved our time. Children, in case if the size is suppose 5 and the elements are 12, 2, 13, 3 and 1, see that we need to complete all the phases here, and after that only we got the sorted array in this particular case. So it will complete and finally the array is sorted. But if in between you discover that only suppose there are 5 elements and 1, 2, 3, 0 and 15, suppose these are the elements. Now you see that after fourth phase only we got sorted array, and fifth phase what was not started and it got terminated. And here finally after fourth phase only we got the sorted array. And children, suppose one more example I am giving you. Suppose here the size is 5, 1, 2, 3, 15 and 4. You see that after second phase we got the array sorted. Not actually in the first phase only we got the array sorted, but in the second phase actually the algorithm was checking whether it is sorted or not. So we need one extra phase to check. First phase, after first phase only it got sorted, but we need to check one extra, we need to consider one extra phase so that we can check. And when we assured ourselves that it is sorted, immediately we stopped. So children, this is bubble sorting. So if anybody has not understood, please tell me so that I can explain one more time. Yes, please tell anybody who has not understood.
Sir,
Yes, beta.
sir, can you explain the flag variable, how you use in
Okay.
this program?
Okay, I'm just going to explain. Wait. Children, suppose these are the elements. And the array is not sorted. And here f is 0. And when this loop is started, we made f1. Now, within this loop body, the adjacent elements will be compared. These two compared, but no change. These two compared, but no change. These two compared, but no change. These two compared, and there was a change. और f को 1 कर चुके थे यहाँ पे. Now we are making f0 again. We are making f0 again. We have made this f0. It simply means when this loop got terminated, I will get incremented, and since f is 0, one more phase will go. And this phase is basically checking whether these are sorted or not. And after when we have swapped these, what will happen? F is 0. And here we have made f1. We have made f1. Compare these two, no change. 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 So it means control will not enter this block. And earlier we have changed this value of f equals to 1. So f will not become 0. And when this loop terminated, I will get incremented. But since f is not 0, the outer loop will also terminated. Array is already sorted. Vanshika, now understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, anybody who has not understood, please tell.
Understood, sir.
Okay, so children, the previous and this method is the improved bubble sorting version, and it is quite useful. Okay, so if anybody is still having any problem with bubble sort, please tell. Please tell, children. No problem. Okay, now, yes. Arnav?
Sir, no problem.
Okay, now I'm just